time now, spawnlings, to learn mastery over the dark arts.
Wait, no it isn't.
Oh, it isn't?
No, it's time for the Deathly Hallows Part 2 review.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
If you're a Harry Potter fan, you've probably seen the film by now. It's the final installment in the whole Harry Potter saga, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. But just in case you haven't, we're going to be talking about it in this review, and we don't want to spoil it for you. So this is your official spoiler warning.
Dobby promises not to hide his ocarina in this review, so you're safe to leave the room. Return when you hear this noise.
Well, that's very considerate of you, Dobby. As usual, movie tie-in games have been released alongside the films, and we've been able to have a look at the DS and the 360 version.
Yes, the 360 and PS3 versions of this game are unfortunately rated M, so we can't show them here on Good Game Spawnpoint, but we have reviewed the 360 one over on the Adult Show.
Oh, but we have to say something about it though, Barger, because there may be a spawnling out there about to splurge all of their pocket money on this game, or at this very moment writing it at the top of their birthday wish list.
Dobby says it's your duty to inform.
Don't do
it.
it! Yes, on the pile of Terabad movie tie-in games, this one is at the top. Or is it at the bottom? It's the worst one.
What's wrong with this door? Looks like some sort of locking charm.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. Alohomora!
It is truly appalling. It's just this boring cover shooter with all the fun bits played out for you in cutscenes, and it's only a little over 4 hours long. 4 hours!
Dobby thinks it should be encased in the Chamber of Terrible Games, a place where no spell can retrieve it.
And it's so disappointing because we're such big Harry Potter fans, and the Potter world should and has made for some great games.
Indeed it has. So it was with much trepidation that we picked up the DS version of this game, which is rated PG, so we can review it here. In this game, the story actually begins where the previous film ended, in the Malfoy Manor, squaring off against Bellatrix. The first few areas you'll take on will be escaping Malfoys and avoiding Death Eaters in Diagon Alley, before finally arriving at Gringotts Bank.
Gameplay is what it should be. Each character is equipped with their own unique spell, which you'll need to use and combine to solve puzzles and make it through each area. You'll always be travelling in pairs, because this game can actually be played in co-op, which is great.
So while Harry assembles objects to be moved and placed on switches, for example, Ron can move light from one lamp to another to trigger a door or gate to open. And often you'll need to protect him while he does this. The way you make use of these spells is by tracing a pattern on the bottom screen of the DS, which is something a bit different.
Yeah, it is different, and I did find it a bit odd at first, but after a while I came to really like it.
Hermione's special ability is opening locked gates, and in the PS3 and 360 version, she took a ridiculously long amount of time to do this. It was really tedious. In the DS Deathly Hallows, Hermione is swift to the task of door opening, which makes things much more enjoyable. The real challenge will be in getting both of you through some rather tricky areas without taking too much damage.
Yeah, once you start heading towards Gringotts, things definitely get a bit hectic, with shooting spikes and moving platforms which you'll have to navigate both young wizards through. It may look simple, but it can actually get quite fiddly, and one wrong step will send you both back to your starting point. Then of course there's goblins, some rather tough to kill trolls, and of course the dragon boss. These fights are satisfying and become sufficiently difficult. You have a limited use area attack which you can stun with, left button creates a shield, and by tapping an enemy with the stylus you can cast Stupefy to take them out. You can move with the D-pad if you like, but I found it easier just to use the stylus to move. It becomes a bit of a tapathon playing that way, but you know, it works for me.
Objects that have a faint glowing outline around them can be zapped with your wand. Then you're required to scribble back and forth with your stylus, which will cause the object to explode into little coloured stars of XP. It pays to zap through all these, as often they'll reveal extra rooms and hidden bonuses.
Much of the puzzle work involves activating switches in a particular order to open doors to additional rooms and chambers. The answer to these is often subtly indicated by an arrangement of coloured bottles or paintings, and other tricky methods which we won't spoil for you. But things definitely heat up when time limits are introduced as well. I think my favourite puzzles are the ones that require you to use co-op platform switches to get both wizards through an area. I mean, it's good solid puzzling that makes you think, but interspersed with bursts of combat to keep you on your toes as well.
Hidden bonuses include green tokens, which will reward you with additional perks, like extra uses of your stun attack. But collect them all and you'll unlock Voldemort as a playable character, and I think that's good incentive for a second playthrough. All up, I think the Spawnlings got the better end of the deal with the Deathly Hallows games. The DS version is a longer game and it also has puzzles, and they're actually quite engaging. I was pleasantly surprised, so I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I agree, Barjo. I thought the difficulty curve was well done. The cutscenes were short but told the story well enough, and at least there was co-op. I could have done without a bit of the random scribbling, but all in all, I would definitely recommend this to Harry Potter fans. I'm giving it 7 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Well, Darren, I think it's safe to let the Spawnlings know they can come back.
Yes, Master.
Well, that's it then. The last film and Harry Potter game has been released. It's been years.
I know, I can't believe it.
Are you still as much of a Harry Potter fan as you were in the beginning?
Of course I am.
Really? After all this time?
Always.
Hurry, 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 hurry.
Harry Potter. He may have cast a spell over our imaginations in the books and films, but when it comes to video games, he hasn't really cast a spell in our hearts.
Yes, with the exception of the Lego games, which are very good. But maybe Harry Potter Connect can change things?
That's a negative.
Now, place him down into another empty pot.
Yeah, so look, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the Kinect, and here the controls are really responsive and everything does work. It's just really boring, and I think it's one of the worst Kinect games I've played because of that.
Yeah, many of the major scenes from all 8 films have been turned into their own little mini-game.
In today's class, you will attempt to brew a cure for boils. You may begin.
You'll take a potion class with Professor Snape, play a round of Quidditch, battle Voldemort, and much more. I mean, there's certainly plenty of variety, but the problem is there's very little gameplay to any of them, so it's just not fun.
Yes, the Quidditch, for example, is simply leaning to avoid obstacles or punching when someone gets too close to you.
Stupid Slytherin.
It just fails to capture any of the excitement that we know should be in a Quidditch match. And really, there's only a few games repeated in various ways. Running through a maze or battling a tree, for example, are essentially the same game of jumping, ducking, and leaning.
Affirmative. It's one thing to make games simple so that everyone can enjoy them. Simple can be fun, but not in this case. You're awarded up to 5 stars for completing levels based on how well you play, and this is clearly designed to encourage replaying levels. However, only muggles would want to. Once is more than enough.
Yes, and you'd think things would pick up in the magical battles, but no. All you do is shout out the name of your magic spell and wave your hand like a wand to cast it. Which sounds kind of fun in theory, but there's just barely any strategy. You can usually just spam any spell and win.
I also found it a bit annoying how they say the name of every spell every time they cast it, and I know that's how magic works, but it was still very annoying.
Incendio! 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 Incendio!
I did like the face scanning feature though, which lets you put your face in the game as Harry.
I don't think we should let the Spawnlings see that, Barjo.
Yeah, your face was terrifying. It just scanned your nose and eye, so your character had this giant mutant nose in the side of its face and then one giant eye as well. It was terrifying.
Looked fine to me.
Negative.
Let's have a look.
Negative.
There's also a hub menu where you can listen to some songs from the Sorting Hat, and then there's Forks here, and from what I can tell, all you do is give him a rub, and then he sets on fire and then disappears. What's the point of that?
Well, you get an achievement for it, but yeah, other than that, there's not much point. There's also 2-player multiplayer where you can go up against each other in competitive Quidditch or competitive dueling, but after a couple of goes at each, I'd really had enough.
Well, this is a real opportunity missed. You'd think the Kinect would be perfect for magic casting and all that sort of stuff, but no, they just totally dropped the ball. Or dropped the Quidditch ball. Yeah. I'm giving it 3 out of 10 rubber chicken.
Yeah, it's definitely one to avoid. I'm giving it 4.
I mean, you've seen those videos online of people trying to play real-life Quidditch.
Oh, I have. They look awesome.
It looks a lot more fun than this.
Yeah.
It does look more fun.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
You'd be really good at Quidditch,
Yeah.
Darren, because you've got your rocket boots.
Rocket boots.
You could actually chase the golden snake.
I could laser that snitch right out of the air.
Yeah.
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 He should be on our team.
He should be. Definitely.
When Pokemon Go swept onto the scene in 2016, it was an international sensation. Hordes of people flocked to areas teeming with Pokestops, and it seemed like there was some Pokemon-related incident on the news every other day.
Now Go's developer Niantic have teamed up with Portkey Games to create a Harry Potter-themed mobile game called Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Wizards Unite has launched in Australia and New Zealand before anywhere else in the world as a beta version, much like Pokemon Go did. And if that's anything to go by, what we're seeing here is pretty much the final version.
When you load it up, the first thing you'll see is how marvelously Harry Potter everything is. There's recognizable items and characters from across the magical world of Hogwarts that just make my heart sing. All it took was that famous theme music playing for me to be really geared up for a wizarding adventure. I grew up with the books and the movies, and this world means so much to me.
Oh, me too, Gem. I was really impressed at the animations, and there's even wonderfully voice-acted lines, building a bit of a story for you.
And confoundables are the chaotic obstacles you must remove in order to return a foundable.
The gameplay is super familiar, being based off the maps and technology that power Pokemon Go. By wandering around in the real world, you encounter various confoundables, things from the wizarding world that risk exposing it to non-magical muggles. It's your job to stop that from happening by doing what wizards do best, casting spells.
I have to say, Rad, I do find it a little confusing though. So there's foundables, which are the good things from the magic world, and then confoundables are the bad things, and they're messing with them, so you have to defeat the confoundables to capture the foundables.
Gotta catch 'em all!
Wrong game. Spells are cast by tracing your finger over a pattern. The faster and more accurate you cast, the more likely you are to be successful. And Rad, this is where my problems with the game start.
You mean the very first and basically main thing that you do in the game?
Yes.
There's pixies on you!
Part of the novelty with these games is playing in augmented reality, or AR, so you can see the game world overlaid on the real world. But to catch anything in AR, you have to stand in a particular spot, line up some stars, then start spellcasting.
Oh dear, Hagrid is trapped.
This means you can't play while walking unless you turn off the AR, so the feature is basically unusable.
Not to mention, tracing with one hand is really tricky. And playing one-handed is basically a must for a mobile game that has walking as a main gameplay feature. If you don't walk, you can't find more confoundables, and thus there's nothing to do in the game. And there's port keys, which are basically chests, that are unlocked by walking, but it seems the distance is only counted while the app is open. Which wouldn't be so bad if there's lots of confoundables to catch, but...
There's just not. Rad, I went on a whole big walk the other day and only found like 2 things. All that good work for nothing.
I know this was a criticism of Pokemon Go back in the day, especially from people that don't live in dense cities, but I feel like it's even worse in Wizards Unite. The world feels even more empty, with a glut of extra features that lead to dozens of pages and menus for collectibles that just do not excite me. At level 6, you do get to choose a profession, but it doesn't change the gameplay much, and by the time I got there, I just didn't care anymore. In trying to flesh out the game, it's like they lost sight of how people would be playing, and that's what would and wouldn't be a useful addition.
Totally. It's like it's doubled down on Pokemon Go's problems and then stripped away what made it successful. Loading screens take way too long, and there doesn't seem to be much in the game encouraging people to play together. There are fortresses which have enemies you can battle as a group, but as they're always active, they don't encourage gatherings like Pokemon Go's raids. I don't get that same sense of community.
I did like wandering around with you though.
That's just because we like hanging out.
Yeah, true. I think a big part of why this feels so boring is that we're all completely burned out on the Pokemon Go formula. I just don't care about tracing a shape over and over so I can collect virtual stickers to fill my sticker pages.
I also just found the inns and greenhouses, which give you energy and items, so lackluster. In a mobile game, every millisecond of time I have to spend waiting for an animation to finish is agony. So beefing up these glorified Pokestops with all this fanfare was not a good time for me. I'd been really looking forward to Harry Potter Wizards Unite, but after playing it, it's definitely not something I'm going to be continuing with. I'm giving it 1.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
There may be magic out there, but it is not in this game. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 rubber chickens.
still salty over not receiving our acceptance letters to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, the wait is finally over with the arrival of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery.
Developed by Jam City, Hogwarts Mystery is a free-to-play mobile game in which you take on the role of a first-year Hogwarts student. The story takes place years before the Harry Potter series, so you don't have to worry about you-know-who showing up.
Phew, but don't worry because you'll be kept busy. Learning charms with Professor Flitwick.
Lumos.
Proving yourself a potions master with Professor Snape. And tangling with the likes of Marula, a first-year Slytherin and the self-proclaimed best witch in Hogwarts.
It really does feel like you're stepping into another world. After creating your character, you're taken through some classic Harry Potter milestones, like getting your first wand at Ollivanders and being sorted into your house.
You yourself even have a compelling backstory. As it's revealed, your older sibling was expelled from Hogwarts after hunting for cursed vaults beneath the school and has been missing ever since. Immediately, I was hooked. We've got magic, nostalgia, and now a mystery that needs to be solved.
Whoa, 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 hold your horses there. Or hold your brooms? We've got a lot to learn before then. Gameplay consists of a few simple mechanics, like tapping the screen to perform specific actions, tracing patterns to cast spells, and the occasional focus QuickTime event. These are mixed up during tasks, but once you've got the hang of them, they don't provide any challenge. But I guess the simplicity means that anyone can play without too much trouble.
Unfortunately, it's not too long before the cracks start to appear. Around 15 minutes in, I found myself trapped in Devil's Snare. And as I was trying to free myself from this frantic life or death situation, I received this message. And so read the ugly head of microtransactions.
Microtransactions are nothing new in mobile games, but I have to say that the way they're pushed on players here is ridiculous. Ridiculous! In order to earn enough stars to complete an objective, you have to expend energy. If you run out, you can wait for it to regenerate before you continue, which is so slow. Alternatively, you can spend your precious gems to buy more energy. The catch is, the game only gives you a small amount of gems at a time, but they can be purchased with real money.
Time is also a massive barrier when it comes to the flow of the game. You can be forced to wait 3 real-world hours or more to gain access to new story missions. It's so frustrating.
Which is exactly why I have my game running through a faster-than-light quantum entanglement system. And I have to say, I'm having a swell time dabbling in the arcane arts.
That's not fair, Darren. Not everyone has a quantum whatever it is you said.
True, but even so, you can still enjoy Hogwarts Mystery without giving up your hard-earned coin. You just have to have patience and plan ahead.
Oh, but Darren, that's so boring. What about spoilings? Just want to play the game and not have to wait all that time.
Well, you can pay in gems to unlock missions faster, but you'll need quite a few. And while a few in-app purchases here and there doesn't seem like much, it's important to remember they can stack up fast. Oh no, I've got to go. I think my potions are bubbling over. Goodbye.
What, he has potions?
I wish I had potions. I mean, I do get why games have microtransactions, especially free-to-play ones. Games cost money to make, and the developers want to make money from people playing their game, which makes sense, and I wouldn't have minded so much if it was just for cosmetic options like clothes or hair. But when they block you from the story with paywalls just to stretch out the playtime, that's nasty design.
I would have gladly paid money up front if that meant I didn't have to constantly be stopping and starting all the time. I just want to be a witch. Is that so much to ask? Final thoughts, Rad?
There could be an interesting story here, but it's kind of hidden away, and what we're left with doesn't make me inclined to push forward and find it. I'm going to give it 1 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I love what Hogwarts Mystery could have been, but not what it is. And that hurts because the Harry Potter universe has such a special place in my heart, but this just feels more like a series of in-app purchases and ridiculous waiting times wearing the Harry Potter brand. So I'm giving it 1 rubber chicken as well.
You know what we have to do?
You don't mean.
I do mean.
Wands at the ready.
Avada Kedavra! An unforgivable curse.
For an unforgivable game.